semiconductors.
That last podcast had a huge impact on
I
you.
feel like it did really psychologically scar you.
It did. Well, it's, the modern world is very fragile. And like, if you don't have semiconductors anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be like immediately you don't have semiconductors anymore.
No,
but it would be kind of like if you thought that the supply chain issues with COVID were bad, yeah, it would be so much worse.
And yeah, then it's just like a countdown until the things you have start to break down. Like, I mean, the idea that like, steering wheels are no longer attached to the tires of your car. Once that kind of technology, those chips that make that work start to break,
then it's Mad Max. Is that what you're saying?
It's Mad Max.
Yeah.
I mean, I would hope that people would try to come up with some solutions before that happens.
Well, before the podcast, we had the idea that I would start a prepper channel where I'm shirtless with a tie, holding a spear, maybe like a red paint splashed across my face.
Like an orc?
Yeah.
Okay.
They fared well in the Lord of the Rings, right? They were like the good guys.
It depends on your point of view. I've heard takes that Tolkien was a horrible racist for smearing those nice orcs.
I mean, really, Tolkien was trying to warn us about the Industrial Revolution the whole time.
He specifically said he doesn't like allegories.
But that's what everybody does. Tries to make it an allegory.
Yeah, Narnia, it's a lion, but it's supposed to be Jesus. Come on, it's a lion.
That is definitely C.S. Lewis.
No, doesn't make sense. It's a lion.
All right. Okay. What were we talking about?
I was just wondering
a prepper channel.
Oh,
okay.
Because of the Taiwan War and the supply chain crisis that will create.
You're gonna move to like Montana.
So you're gonna show people how to hunt semiconductors.
Yeah.
With your spear.
You have to go scavenging around in the dumps. I think there was a video game like that. Yeah, these are serious issues, and like people who are bringing it back around, these former politicians and military leaders who are taking money from China to, do the Communist Party's bidding, it will come back to bite them.
I mean, I think in fairness, like people on both sides don't want war with China. Like almost nobody wants war. Maybe like, Norman Gunthrop or something, like a military contractor. But like basically nobody wants war. It's that the China doves think that the best way to avoid war is by appeasing the CCP, and the hawks think that the best way to avoid war is by with strength to act as a deterrent. And those are two really different paths to ensuring peace.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. And I think that it also depends very much on what your view of the CCP is. Like, I think a lot of the, maybe some people are bought off, but also some people genuinely believe in that kind of 1990s globalization. It's
just another country that we can work with. We might have our differences, but surely it's not a Marxist-Leninist state devoted to international communism and destroying the United States.
Of course not.
Despite them saying that.
Don't be silly. They just want to join our economy.
The rules-based international order.
And then when they get more prosperous economically, then they'll naturally become democratic.
As we've seen over the last 20 years.
Yeah.
But no, I still think that some people genuinely believe that is the better way to go.
Well, it's a nicer story in many ways. Like, you think, it's kind of like, hey, everyone can get along, right? Mm-hmm. With money.
With money.
But it turns out something about money being a root of evil, I don't know.
Yes, the love of money is the root of all evil.
Yes.
Yes, I don't know where that's from.
A good book.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, and it's probably one of those two groups, the doves or the hawks, is wrong.
Sorry, I just started thinking of them as the Sharks and the Jets or something like that when you're like the Doves and the Hawks.
I wish. That'd be so much more entertaining.
Here come the doves like a dove out of hell.
All right, we're going to stop this right now.
Yeah, it's definitely a bad idea.
I wish I was more familiar with the West Side Story. Otherwise, I could fire back with some some stuff.
Uh,
If we made an analogy with Les Mis or Jesus Christ Superstar, then I'd be on it.
Yeah. I've actually never watched Les Mis.
Just check it out. It's good.
Yeah.
Really good music.
I saw it in London.
Oh, did you now?
Mm-hmm. Now they've totally changed it. Like they have like a new set or something like that.
Oh.
Where they don't have like the piles of things making the big barricade in the middle and stuff like that. Yeah.
I'll have to ask you about that later because I'm curious how they do it then. But, you know, let's changing topics.
Although once you told me you wanted to make a Les Mis parody of like the US Congress and stuff like that, and I actually wrote down some parody songs that we were discussing
had
in
that
my
idea.
Yes, in my Evernotes. I will show you later after the podcast.
Was this when we were doing the like Schoolhouse Rock parody about China's political legal system?
I can't remember. Maybe because I think we were in Washington D.C.
That's right.
Interesting.
That was like our one of our weirdest episodes is we had like all these.
It may have been the result of heat stroke, given that it was like July and
It was like 100 degrees. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That was a terrible day.
Yeah, and we were like on the white marble just baking. We were all getting pretty short with each other, except for you, Shelley, who is always short.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So this has been a time of anniversaries for us. The happy anniversary is it's 10 years since we started China Uncensored. The sad anniversary is 3 years ago we left Hong Kong for the last time.
I love Hong Kong.
Yeah, I'm sorry we never went to Lantau Island. You begged us every trip.
Every time. And you always said later. Always said later. We'll do it another time.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure there will still be another time for us to go to Lantau Island.
Yeah, like when we're in our 80s.
No.
I am far more optimistic about the future.
That's
Me, who talks about a prepper channel where I'm telling people how to hunt semiconductors, I'm more optimistic.
Yeah, we're not going to be 80 before. Well, gosh.
I suppose that's possible. A horrible, bleak view of the future. If, Hong Kong is still enslaved by the Chinese Communist Party and the national security law would still be in effect, that we'd get possibly arrested or detained if we went to Hong Kong. But I am more optimistic.
Good. I like that.
And so we'll take you to Lantau Island.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
See that big Buddha statue.
There's also a bunch of other stuff on Lantau Island. Like,
really?
Yeah. A lot of hiking trails. Actually, technically, the airport is also on Lantau Island. So we have technically been to Lantau Island.
Okay, this does not count as having taken me to Lantau Island.